Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake, and what we're going to make are cherry sweet rolls or sweet buns. What's nice about this recipe, if you don't want to use dried cherries, which I'm using, you can use whatever type of dried fruit that you like, blueberries, whatever. So there, you can change it up however that you want. First, I'm going to give you the recipe for the dough. I did make my dough in my bread maker on the dough cycle. You certainly can make this dough by hand. All the ingredients and directions will be below the video, but I want to give them to you right off the bat. You're going to need 3/4 of a cup of milk, and that's at 110 degrees Fahrenheit. 1 egg, slightly beaten. 3 tablespoons of water. 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine. I like to melt mine and then allow it to cool. 3 cups of bread flour. Again, I always get questions, well, can I use all-purpose? Well, this particular recipe, I have found it really tends to need bread flour. You can go ahead and try that if you want, but the rolls that I'll be showing you in a few minutes were made with bread flour. If you're looking for rolls with all-purpose flour or whole wheat, I have many recipes on my channel for sweet rolls, cinnamon rolls, bread, buns, you name it. But this one is using bread flour. You're going to need 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and 1 teaspoon of active dry yeast. Now I used 1/3 cup of dried cherries. You can use dried blueberries. You would need, again, 1/3 of a cup. I measured 1/3, then I chopped them, and then I put them in when the last mixing or kneading that took place on the dough cycle, and that's when I incorporated the dried fruit. You can add the dried fruit after if you prefer. I just find it easier to let the machine distribute the dry fruit in the dough. So I'm going to take out the dough so that you can really see how beautiful it will rise for you. And you can see all those chopped cherries that are in there. I'm going to put a little bit of flour on my countertop. I don't want to use a lot of flour. I want to keep these buns very light and very delicate. But you can see how large the dough. You do want to use a bread maker that at least can handle 1.5 pounds. I do measure my sweet rolls on a scale. I make mine about 2 ounces. If you want to make yours smaller, you're going to get more out of them than I did. I actually got 14 out of a 2-ounce roll, but it's going to be up to you what size that you want to cut them. So I'm just going to turn my scale on, and then I'm going to just cut a piece off. Hopefully that's about 2 ounces. If not, I'll add or take away. Okay, and I need a little bit more. Okay. And the reason I really try to be specific on the amount is that then your rolls bake up all the same and they look the same, and your timing, it just makes it easier if you do weigh them. But if not, feel free. Everyone has a different method on rolling a bun or a roll. Generally, of course, just rolling it in your hands will make a nice ball. Or I actually like to just bring all the dough and pinch the bottom and then just press it in. And then I like to roll it in my hands. Now you're going to place this on a greased cookie or baking sheet, or use your parchment paper. If they touch a little bit, there's really no problem, but I do try to separate mine and give them, a little bit of a distance so they're not quite on top of one another. I want to cut another one here for you. Again, you probably have your own way of forming your shaping your dough, but this is a nice dough. It's quite elastic. It's not real sticky. It's a little, but not too bad. And again, I just pinch it all together on the bottom, press it in, and then finish off with the palms of my hands, and I get a nice round roll out of it. Okay, now you're going to put these in a preheated oven at 350 degrees. Now they do take about, well, it depends on your ovens, because as we know, all ovens set up so differently, but about anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes, or maybe even a little sooner, so do watch them. Now keep in mind that once you shape them, you're going to need to cover them with a clean kitchen towel or a piece of plastic wrap till they double in size, and that could take a half hour or an hour depending on the temperature of your kitchen. But they do have to have a rise to them before they're baked. Okay, so I want to rinse my hands quickly, and I want to show you the roll. Now I also want to mention that I like to cover mine with a glaze. So I use about a third of a cup of powdered sugar, and you can use milk or water to the consistency of how thick or thin you want it, okay? And that's exactly what I did. Now I do want to show you what they look like without any glaze, and you can see how beautiful light brown they'll come out on the bottom. You can see the cherries poking out of the bun. I went ahead and I put a little food coloring in my glaze. That's about the consistency that I like. You might like it thicker, you might like it thinner. And then what I do is I just cover the whole bun with the icing. I put it on a cooling rack till it all drips down. This one you can see it's just sort of like a light pink. And then I like to just put some colored jimmies on the top. You certainly don't have to do that. Okay, and then set that on a cooling rack till the glaze hardens. All right, so I want to show you the other ones that are hardened and what they look like when they're done. And this is how they will look. Now these again were with the pink glaze, and this is one with just the white glaze from the powdered sugar. It's going to be up to you. You know, if you want to glaze them. If not, these rolls are absolutely delicious by themselves, warm out of the oven with a little butter or a little jam, or just plain. They really do taste fantastic. Okay, I want to get a knife because I want to cut into one to show you what the inside looks like, or at least the texture. It's extremely light and fluffy. I don't know if you can see the crumb, but how it's pulling away, how light, and when you squeeze them, I don't know if you can see that, but how soft, and they'll melt in your mouth, and then the cherries that are on the inside of the sweet roll. Well, that's it for me today. I want to thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake. As a reminder, I want to tell you that my videos are only seen on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel. And I want to thank you for watching. And if, by the way, if you try this recipe and you like it, leave a comment, because I always like to hear from you. So have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.